What up, y'all? How is everybody? I am perky. I'm starting to feel normal again after being sick for several days, but she back. I'm feeling good and obnoxious again, so look out, world. We're here for Totally Tuesday. We are checking in with our manifestations with the oracles, with the mermaid and dolphin, magical mermaid and dolphin oracles. It's a Doreen Virtue deck. Her decks are mostly out of print unless you can find one floating around, or the bootlegs are out there, but they're not very good. I think that they're missing some aspects. So, first up, we've got synchronicity. Let's see. Your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase their flows. So, one of the things that we have been talking about, like, for the last year is trying to make a habit and a practice of saying our prayers out loud. And using the power of your mouth is like next level. First of all, when the Creator was, like, before our reality, before the whole let there be light, Big Bang, before this physical manifestation, the light and everything that the world is that we know, it was all one thing. And so in order, like, for the light, this, like, conscious energy to not be alone, like, this consciousness had a desire to pour out of itself, to share love. And so in order to do that, that one wholeness had to separate so that there would be two. And so part of the physical manifestation of the consciousness of God is this physical reality. And so it's been occurring to me recently that God's love language is through the physical from us, right? So my Kabbalah teacher, David, was talking about how what makes our prayers powerful is for us to use our mouth to bring that consciousness into the physical material world. And so it is an act of manifestation. It's an act of bringing, making something from nothing. And so the universe started as a spark of consciousness, right? And it condensed into something more fleshed out, more whole, more refined, until finally it came through into the physical. And so the things that we do in manifestation follow that same pattern. It's like it starts with a spark of inspiration that grows into an idea that we can then begin to form into images in our mind, and then we can, it becomes even more solid until we can voice that, right? But until we voice it, that's when we speak it, that's the first level of physical manifestation, right? Of creating something from nothing. Even just creating sound, that's taking, something from another dimension of unbeingness, like the non-existence, and bringing it into existence. So prayer is very powerful. The mouth is a portal of life and death, because the mouth and the sexual organs are both really sacred and powerful orifices because they're portals of life and death. We obviously exchange the fluids of creation through our genitals. Babies are birthed through the vaginal opening. Our mouth, it nurtures, right? We have to feed ourselves in order to survive. We have to breathe in and out of our mouths. I mean, I guess we could use our nose, but so it's a portal of life and death-giving energy. So it makes it very powerful. So things that we state out loud have even more power, right? You can speak blessings onto your life and onto the lives of others, or you can speak curses onto your life and onto the lives of others. And for the most part, I don't think we're going around purposefully speaking curses on people and on ourselves, but we do it unwittingly when we start speaking negatively, when we start talking out loud about having negative expectations, about how things are going to go or whatever. And so, and then sometimes people do, like even people who don't think of themselves as saying curses, if you get angry and start running your mouth off saying that you hope something, happens to that person, it's like we got cut off with an Amber Alert. This is the most jolting, like scary thing ever. So yeah, the power of our mouth. We can actually speak curses on people and not mean to. There's a concept in Kabbalah called evil tongue. And it's like when you are, my hands are dry. It's talking in a way that puts negative energy or even just empty, chaotic energy out in the world. And you don't even mean to, but it brings negativity onto you as well as sort of like sends it out to those other people. So it's good to be mindful of that. That's one thing that the red string bracelet is for. It's not only to protect you from evil tongue and evil eye, but it's also to remind you not to do evil tongue and evil eye. Evil eye is when you are like jealous or covetous of something someone has. Even in a passive way, it could be like when you worry about someone and you're imagining like catastrophizing a situation or imagining worst case scenarios. That can be a form of passive evil eye. And it's not even intentional. It's just like you're just creating, negative energy. So watch your thoughts, but use your words purposefully to speak blessings into your life and to align yourself with your highest good. And, express yourself out loud to the Creator and ask for all kinds of things that you want. Like David, my teacher, was even mentioning, he was like, you can even pray for like, your skin, your hair. Like, oh, I've noticed some wrinkles here, like whatever. And so I started praying for my hair in the shower. I was like, oh, I hope my hair has like bounce and pizzazz and volume. And I know like I've been coming on camera the last couple of nights, like after work when I look like a drained like a drowned rat. But like at the beginning of the night, it's like this week I've had the best hair week of my life. It was just an experiment, but try it yourself. But use it for everything from trivial to major. I've heard people say before that like they're like, oh, well, I only pray for myself when it's important. And it's like, no, why are you like, don't put a limit on God's capability. This is the infinite, like the omnipresent, like there's no limits, right? Keep asking, ask for everything, trivial, important, everything, all of it, right? All of it. So pray, and then allow yourself time also to sit in quiet and stillness, right? Or even, go for a walk, but like maybe give yourself periods of quiet so that you can listen without being stimulated by music, by lyrics, by like a TV being on or a video going, allow yourself that space to receive that inspiration or that guidance. And even if it doesn't come through in those moments, it's like the time that you spend in quiet is a practice that creates quietness within, even when you step out of that quiet moment that you had with yourself. It's like you can build that muscle of maintaining a quiet, peaceful, clean slate within so that when you do have guidance come in, you're used to observing things. You're used to learning how things feel. And so you've learned, okay, ooh, this feels like fear. This feels like my old patterns coming up. That old like the old chatter, the old mind chatter, the negative tape, right? This is just an irrational fear versus, okay, I'm calm inside. This feels like wise, loving, compassionate guidance. Okay, I feel this. I can discern this, right? So it helps you discern. So listen for the answers to your prayers and watch for, pay attention to these sensations and feelings. Pay attention to synchronicities and signs and things that are meaningful to you that might show up and grab your attention. Be careful, though, not to go looking for signs. When we want something really badly, people who like to pay attention to synchronicities and signs and everything and universal communication, we can get to a point where we're just like overly aware of the sign that we're looking for the thing that we want to reinforce our belief in. You know what I mean? Like, here's an example. Say you like a person and you like the sign that you see for them is this thing. And then it's like there's red flags that have been coming up. Maybe like it's not quite working out, or maybe it's not, you're just like, it's in one of those phases where everything's uncertain. And it's like all of a sudden, like the sign that you see is just like, you're just seeing it everywhere. But then it's like almost like you just start looking for it everywhere because you want to believe that this is reinforcing the fact that you are invested in this person. So you can kind of be tweaking those because you want to see what you want to see. So you got to be, the only way that signs and synchronicities are helpful is if you're like rigorously honest with yourself. And also keep in mind that the opponent can send signs too to throw you off. So you have to learn to be very, very cunning, very shrewd. You've got to weigh it all out with your gut feeling, your instincts, your inner guidance. It's like when you see the signs that are like, this has been put in my path for me to see, you know it. And if you're like, I don't know, is that a sign? Then just forget it. Like, if it's really a sign and the universe needs you to see the sign, like, it'll be obnoxious about it. So, all right, there you go. There you go. All right, what else do we need to know? Oh, let's see. Let yourself receive. Allow others to give you loving care. Receive without guilt or apologies. So I love that. It goes back to what we were just talking about in the beginning, before the physical realm in the upper worlds. The light was all one unified thing. But in order for the light to share, it had to separate to form a vessel in order for the vessel to be able to receive the light so that they could come together in union but experience other, to come back together again in the self, seeing other as the self and the self within the other. It's crazy. So you can only be in one state at a time as far as giving and receiving. So when we want to receive our manifestation, when we want fulfillment to come, when we want something, we have to be the vessel. We have to get in a state of receiving. We have to open ourselves, and we also have to prepare ourselves to be able to hold what we're receiving. Like, for instance, we were really busy at the restaurant tonight. So I've been praying for like really busy nights, and I was praying for it all afternoon before I went in. But it's like, do you have the vessel to hold the busyness, Liz? When you get busy and you've been, triple sat, can you still keep taking more tables? When you've got your 9 top that you've got to go check on, and you got this, and this. Do you have the vessel to contain this blessing that's coming in? And it takes endurance. It takes determination. It takes energy. It takes effort, the vessel. It takes devotion. It takes putting the self out of the comfort zone. Everyone was busy tonight. Our restaurant got slammed, and it was like it all seemed to happen in like 20-30 minutes. Like, the whole restaurant filled up. And we had, we were prepared, and we were good at our jobs, and we practiced, and we're good at getting busy all of a sudden. But if we didn't have the vessel to contain it, we would have started making mistakes. Things would have started going downhill. We would have started like imploding, getting in bad moods. You know what I mean? So it's like the same. If you want to get in great shape, you got to build the vessel by figuring out what's the right diet for you, getting your workout program. Are you wanting to, get more respiratory endurance going? Are you wanting to become more flexible and agile? Like, what is it that you have your goal for? But what it is that you have to show up for that, and you have to put the effort forth. And so you have to invest yourself, right? You have to commit. If it's a relationship that you want to build the vessel for, then you have to build the vessel by making yourself the partner that you want. And then you have to continue to put effort into yourself, into the other, and into the relationship, right? That's building the vessel. You have to stay committed. You have to continue to make an effort. So as light and vessel, these are the basic two aspects of the universe. And so we can only be in one state at any given time. We can't be the light, the sharer, the giver at the same time as we want to be the vessel. So right now, where our manifestations are concerned, it's all about watching for the synchronicities and opening ourselves up to receive support and guidance and the blessings that the universe has coming in for us. But we got to be ready. We got to have our shoes on and tied and ready to show up when the blessings come. Like in what is that, like active stance and game stance and player mode? Like what is it called when you're like out in the outfield and you like got to stay ready to like run after the ball? Like that's kind of like we're having to stay prepared as a vessel right now. So we are, taking action when we are receiving instruction from the universe, when we're receiving guidance, but we're staying like consistent and we're showing up steadily, sustainably every day for ourselves, right? Building our dreams, being ready to receive, opportunities as they come, not turning that kind of stuff away, not turning away your inspiration with procrastination, right? When you receive that inspiration, like do something with it, really receive it. Allow others to give you like recommendations or listen to ideas, allow others to help you and support you, and receive without guilt or apologies. So your manifestations can be waiting to land, but unless you have an emotional, and subconscious ability to receive them and feel worthy and deserving of them, you won't be able to have the vessel to contain them. To me, the vessel, the size of the vessel depends on your self-worth, like the depth and the width of the vessel, how much the vessel can hold. But the strength of the vessel, not allowing, the vessel not being, breaking under the pressure, or the stimulus, is your faith. The vessel breaking under the pressure is a great example is when celebrities, it all just gets too much. The being put on a pedestal, worship, the stimulus, everyone wanting from them all the time. It gets to a point where eventually many of them crack because it's all too much light coming in to a vessel that can't handle it, right? It becomes changed. It becomes, distorted because of the energy that it's been exposed to. So we have to prepare the vessel to receive, and we need to deepen our self-worth and our sense of deservingness, and we need to strengthen our faith and our belief in the Creator to support us, to our trust in the universe to send backup, to help us course correct when we make mistakes, and just to be able to let go and go for it, give it a shot. But yeah, receiving is a feminine, a divine feminine power. Yeah, and I don't know why, but I just keep obsessing over these girls just kind of pampering the other, kind of just nurturing and being caring, I don't know why, but it just keeps standing out. Maybe something about physical touch or letting other people be affectionate towards you. I don't know, but be open to receiving. Don't push that out. Don't push people's love language away. Don't push people's affection away, because it's closing down your heart and it's pushing away all the ways that the universe is trying to show you love and abundance, right? The universe is trying to give to you all the time, but it's you have to be in receiving mode. It starts with compliments, right? Can you take a compliment? If somebody's like, oh, you look great. Like, your hair looks awesome. I love your outfit. Or you just like, oh, thank you. That's so great. Thank you so much. Or are you like, oh, no, this whole thing, I look terrible. Blah, blah. You know, like, receive. Receive. The universe wants to give to you. Other people want to give to you. So be open to receiving. And the more joyously and gratefully you receive, the more the universe just like keeps pouring it on you. And the more you talk out loud about joyously and gratefully receiving, it just starts you just make it rain. At the beginning of the shift tonight, we were talking about all of the snacks that we'd hope we'd have. Like, we make everything fresh, and so at the end of the night, if there's like things that got made that didn't get sold, like, then, you know, it's like feast. We got all the things that we wanted tonight, because at the beginning of the night we were all like, ooh, I hope we have this, I hope we have this, ooh, I'd like a bite of that, ooh, I'd want one of those. It was like a smorgasbord. It was amazing. Oh my gosh, you're being helped. Heaven is working behind the scenes to help you, even if you don't see the results yet. So continue building the vessel, keep showing up, keep believing and trusting that there are certain things you can do. I love this advice that I think Esther Hicks gave out one time. And it was like, make a list of all the things that need to get done, like for whatever. In this case, maybe for your manifestation, for your life, whatnot. And like, make a 2-column kind of thing and put, this is what I'm going to do on one side. And then the other side of the column is like, this is what I'm going to give the universe to do. And so you're just delegating, like, I bet you the universe could take care of this for me. And it usually does. And so the universe is trying to help you. So just trust that you bring your side and the universe is going to bring its side to the table. You keep cleaning up your side of the street. You keep doing all the subconscious work to clean the waters, the subconscious waters of the old, patterning, the old conditioning, the old way of thinking, all of those old things that have held us back or kept us down or made us feel less than, or, less than what, the things that we have, those insecurities or hang-ups. It's like, what if we could just liberate ourselves from them and just let go, and then just move forward and just go forward healthy, happy, living your life free of like the old things that like haunted you and tortured you, right? Heaven is working behind the scenes. I feel like the Hanged Man card comes to mind, and the Hanged Man card is like a moment where you have a seeming pause in activity, but it's really just a moment to catch your breath and to readjust and reflect and kind of change your perspective. And I think it's interesting that the Hanged Man is hanged upside down by the foot. And it's funny too, because today, I was upside down, blow drying my hair with my hairdryer. And I was thinking, I felt like the Hanged Man. And I was thinking that because I was folded over in half, blow drying my hair, I was like, oh, it's like my stomach, my sacral chakra is emptying my subconscious thoughts into my head because I'm upside down. Because it seems like whenever I'm upside down like that, blow drying my hair, my subconscious things come into my awareness. And I'm like, oh, I never thought about that. Oh, it's like I have these epiphanies while I'm upside down. And I thought of them as being draining from my, or dropping down from my subconscious since I was upside down. And then I was like, oh, it made me think of the Hanged Man card and how the Hanged Man is upside down and he's getting a new perspective. And so it made me think the sacral chakra, it's like the subconscious is you turn it over and honey, it's dripping down into the consciousness of your mind so that you can get a different perspective. I don't know why that was what came through with this, but you're being helped. So be grateful, continuously invite heaven's help to assist you with your voice out loud. Your heavenly team and spiritual support and the fulfillment of the light are always there at all times. But we have free will, and God won't impose on you. So it's up to you to ask. It's up to you to ask the angels for help. It's up to you to ask the Creator for help. It's better to bypass the angels even and go straight to the Creator, because if you work with the angels, you're sort of using, like, you have to pay. It's like a bank account. You know how we talk about having like the scales of your soul, and like you have negativity and you have positivity, right? And like when we, you know, go through trials, and there are different ways that we can get rid of our negativity, right? And increase our positivity. And so when we have that positivity there, in moments where we're like, oh, angels, please help me, that we're taking out of that positive bank, and they're kind of weighing it against like the negativity. They're like, oh, are you buying this on credit, or have you, you know, do you merit this miracle at this moment? So that's why the Bible says, like, don't rely on miracles, because they can, like, you can rack up a spiritual debt possibly if you're working with your angels. But by the blood of Christ, like if you're working with Jesus and just straight to the Creator, especially if you're praying in Aramaic or Hebrew, the angels don't speak that language. And so, or Aramaic, maybe they, I don't know, Aramaic for sure they don't speak. So you're bypassing the angels, and it's like you're getting free assistance instead of having to pay for it or accounting or what have you. Yeah, it's like it requires you to go through a process of cleansing, and it's a lot of depth to get into, but basically broad strokes. I mean, you get the idea. All right, one more card. Oh, actually, there's one flipped over. Oh, stay optimistic. Your dreams are coming true. Don't quit right before the miracle occurs. So, you guys, over and over and over again in our readings, and then over and over again in our bigger lunation readings, like the new moons and the full moons, and then as I've been doing the 2023 predictions month by month for the year, it's been looking like we are in creation phase 3, like maybe even until July. I've filmed up through July, but I haven't posted June or July yet. You can go and watch up until May if you want to look ahead at the year, which I find it very helpful, because it's almost like looking at the outline of a story and figuring out like kind of what the spiritual curriculum for the year is going to look like. It's like, these are the themes you're going to be working with for these months, and I find it very helpful. So you can go look at those. I've got up through May so far posted. I need to like upload a couple of videos tomorrow, but there's a 2023 predictions playlist you can look at. But so phase 3, the 4 phases of creation is something that I hate when I have a notification. It's something that I learned about in Kabbalah class. So creation phase 1 is like the spark of inspiration, the initial sort of like excitement as the idea is fresh and like just coming into form at the seed level. That is what's called a passive desire. It's like, oh, that'd be nice, but you're not really like on fire. You're not going after it yet. Phase 2, creation phase 2, is when your passive desire becomes an active desire. And you decide that, much like the Creator, you've received this idea as the vessel, but now you want to be like the Creator and share, right? So you want to put a bunch of work into this idea because you want to share it with the world. So all of a sudden you're like fired up and you're passionate and you're like burning the midnight oil, and you're like really putting like all your effort in and all your passion and like enthusiasm in, and you're going in all guns blazing. But eventually the honeymoon fades and it's just work, and then you're just in the grind and you have no idea. There's no end in sight, and you're so far from the beginning, and you get like so like tired. So that's creation phase 3. Creation phase 3 is when the honeymoon is past, you're putting in all the work, you haven't really started seeing the results yet. And even though like you're doing it all, everything like you're supposed to be doing, it's like you feel like there's like some big thing, like you've got to take a big risk, or you got to put it all on the line, or like really be true to yourself, or like you've got to like take the leap of faith, or, you know, tell the truth, or like walk away, and like, you know, or like put an end to it. Whatever it is, that big move that like usually wins, you know, the day for the hero in the movie or the underdog. It's like you do that thing and you think everything is going to come through now into fruition, and then it doesn't. And it really seems like nothing's going to happen. And you're like, oh man, wow, I put in so much work. And like, I thought that was going to be it. It's going to all work out. And it just still hasn't. And creation phase 3 is an initiation. And it's to challenge you to see if you're going to settle, if you're going to give up. It's pushing you to have the persistence to build that vessel. Because once you get your dreams, there's a whole other set of like pressures, responsibilities, problems. It's like once you work so hard to get to a level, it's like you got to maintain that, right? So it's like, can you keep doing it? Can you level up like this? Can you maintain this? Do you have the vessel, right? So stay optimistic. Your dreams are coming true. Don't quit right before the miracle occurs. Like, yes, there are things that we've been working on, because I know, like, if you've been following these since last year, it's like you've been clearing the ground and you've been trying to make something happen for a minute. And you're like, oh, God, my soul is tired. Like, I'm literally out of body. That's okay. Keep going. Because you need to show source, creator, the universe, that you're determined, that you have persistence, that you have endurance, that you have trust, that you have faith. And the thing is that you have to reignite the passion in your heart for the thing also. That's part of the lesson. That's part of the initiation. That's part of the challenge, is to figure out how to cultivate and sustain passion without it just happening to you passively. It's an art and a discipline in and of itself. And without passion, the manifestation doesn't have any real magic. It doesn't have any juice to come to fruition. Even if the manifestation does come into material reality, you won't feel fulfilled. It won't be the real fulfillment of the manifestation. It's like the thing will be happening, but you won't really like be in love with it. So it's about learning how to nurture and sustain that passion, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel like it. You know, you're able to push through and stay connected to your greater why, you know, the reasons why you want to do something in the first place. And so you push through and you say, you know what, come hell or high water, whether I get results or not, my heart's really in this. And I feel so much purpose through this and from this and for this, that I don't think I would stop even if it doesn't work out, that kind of thing, right? And so that's when you get to manifestation phase 4, that regardless, you've surrendered the results. You don't care about the results anymore. It's just about something you love, and you're doing it because you want to, because it's something that you love. It gives you love. It's an act of sharing, right? And yeah, it brings you fulfillment in that way. And then once you realize that you're connected in the fulfillment of the thing, and you've released that material representation, it's usually that's when the thing comes to full fruition. And in order to stay in the manifestation phase and not have to go through like the cycle of the ups and downs in life, it's like what you need to do is get really comfortable at being and staying in phase 3 of being surrendered, of being like, all right, let the chips fall where they may. I'm doing it. I'm like in it to win it, ride or die, right? All right, you guys. Well, I think I've said all we need to know tonight. There's lots of deep wisdom secrets this evening. So watch for the synchronicities. Watch for signs. Make sure to say your prayers out loud. Once you do, get in a confident and grateful state of receiving. Release any kind of worry or care and just know that it's already on the way. There's no doubt about it. You're being helped. You've asked for help. Now be aware and confident that you are being helped. And in case you're starting to slip, stay optimistic. You guys, this is very reassuring. It's like signs are going to come to lead you, guide you, and assure you that you're on the right track. Just let yourself receive. Let yourself receive all of the things that the universe is sending you to help support you, to nurture you, to keep you excited, to give you clues, to keep you going in the right direction. Let your friends help. Know that you're being helped. Stay optimistic. Ask for heaven's help. Ask for your angels' help, right? I mean, it's not like we're racking up some horrible spiritual debt. It's just that if you, ask for angels' help, sometimes the help comes in a funnier, more ha ha ha, oh, that's cute kind of package, rather than maybe something a little bit more harmonious and easy with no process, no chaos attached. All right, you guys. I mean, I work with my angels every day, all the time, and Jesus and God. So don't be too worried about it. But also, be doing the work on yourself so that, you're not just taking from the universe. You're adding light instead of just spending light, right? All right, y'all. Well, I hope you all have a great day tomorrow or the rest of the day today or whenever you're watching this. Ciao.